The lease is your written agreement with the landlord. It is a legally binding document, and you should review it carefully every few months. Let's look at some of the typical parts of a lease. First, rent. The lease requires you to pay rent each month in a manner which may include check, cash, money order, or possibly an electronic payment system. It is very important that you pay your rent on time. A late rental payment will result in an extra charge. Failure to pay rent can result in eviction, late charges, the loss of your security deposit, a lower credit score, and even legal fees. It can impact your credit history for a long time. In the event of an eviction, court costs and legal fees may be assessed against you and may be garnished from your future wages. Paying your rent on time is one of the most important obligations you have as a tenant. Your landlord has a mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and other expenses to pay and needs to receive your rent to make those payments. The lease covers details like where and how garbage cans have to be stored, what day to put them out, or who is responsible for changing the air filter in the HVAC system, snow removal, and much more. Any modifications to the unit, like painting a wall, require written approval from the landlord or property manager. So ask permission first and make sure you get it in writing. Other typical paragraphs in the lease include sections on noise restrictions, parking rules, tenant insurance, limits on overnight guests, pet restrictions, and laundry rules. Every city has a municipal code, building code, and zoning code. These codes contain regulations that everyone must comply with. If you fail to comply with the city laws, you may receive a fine and you will be responsible for payment and possibly legal fees or eviction. HOAs, or homeowners associations, have their own rules as well. Like every other citizen, you have to respect those rules. Leases will cover who pays for major and minor repairs to the property. Major repairs, like a heating system, generally are the expense of the landlord. However, the annual servicing of a heating system may be the responsibility of the tenant. Check your lease. Repairs or damages should be reported and completed in a timely fashion. At the end of the lease, you will need to vacate the property on time and return the property in a clean, well-kept condition. Your landlord has two main concerns: that you pay the rent on time and that you take care of the property. If you are unsure about whether something is allowed or a problem, communicate with your property manager or landlord, preferably in writing. If the lease needs to be modified, you must get that in writing. Late payment or an eviction can affect your credit score and stay in your credit history for many years. Make an effort to communicate. Communication is the key to maintaining a good relationship, and someday you may need to ask for a referral from your current landlord. Pay the rent on time, treat the property well, abide by the lease, obey the local laws.